In this video, I'm going to reveal the exact step-by-step scaling strategy that has helped us achieve $60,000 in a single day with the store. As you can see, we've done $60,000 yesterday. If I go the day before, we were consistently pulling over $50,000, $55,000 the day before that. On the 26th, we do about 58. And I can go for days on end. We're pulling about $50,000 to $60,000 a single day on the store. So how am I able to do this? And if you see, in the past week, let's say 7 days, I've done about $400,000 consistently scaling. The biggest thing when it comes to scaling, and the biggest thing I see most people struggle with when it comes to scaling, is consistent results. You get results one day, and the other day, it all comes falling apart. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the exact step-by-step strategy so you can literally copy and paste it into your ads manager and get similar results. Now, there's only one single thing that will make or break the success of your ads and your scaling phase. I'm going to reveal that in this video, so make sure you watch till the end. Also, every video I offer 10 free consultation calls to my subscribers. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the first link in the description, go to my calendar, book a free call. On the call, we'll go over your ads, your marketing, store, whatever you're struggling with. I'll be more than happy to help you with it. With that being said, let's jump right into the video. So the success of your ads and your scaling phase doesn't really matter on your targeting. It doesn't matter how your campaign is structured. It only matters on your creatives. Now in this video, I'm actually going to tell you how to structure and create your creatives in a certain way so that you can scale profitably and also at the same time scale consistently, because consistent results is what matters. So to start off with, let's talk about how you want to structure your campaigns to make sure you scale consistently and you don't have drop-offs. The first step is to launch broad campaigns. Going broad is very important. You do not want, especially when it comes to scaling, you don't want to restrict Facebook and put Facebook in a box, right? Facebook is very smart now, and you putting anything to hinder that, even if that is a simple interest targeting, is only going to affect your sales in a bad way. So you want to start by launching a broad campaign, and you don't want to focus on micro targeting. Forget interest targeting, just select the country and that is it, right? So for example, if you're targeting the US, just have the US in your targeting. UK, just have one single country. Also don't country stack, just target one single country in a single ad set, right? And other than that, you just want to go completely broad. Now the secret sauce is this: instead of one or two ads, you need to upload at least 10 different video ad creatives into this single campaign. I'll repeat myself again because this is very important. You don't want to have 1, 2, 3, or 4 ad creatives into this campaign, but 10 different unique ad creatives in a single campaign. That is how I want you to structure it. Now, each of these ad creatives, as I said, should be unique in itself. It should have a different hook. It should have a different style. It should have a different angle, right? That could be a UGC, a transformation, or that could be a testimonial, or it could be a product demo, whatever it is. Have 10 different unique ad creatives that are completely different from each other and focus on a different selling angle, right? This is very important because this gives Facebook the ability to target 10 different types of audiences because you have 10 different angles. Your targeting is your ad creative. In 2025 and moving forward in 2026, your targeting is your ad creative. Facebook is smart enough to figure out who is fit for the creative that you're running, which is why you need to have a variation of your ad creatives. So 10 different ad creatives, video ad creatives with different hooks, different styles, completely unique from each other. Now, the truth of the matter is that most of them might not do well, but that is just part of the process, and that is why we're testing 10 different ad videos. The point is, 1, 2, or 3 of them would do actually really well, and those are the ones that are going to perform well and help you scale your store, right? So it's very important you have quantity at the same time quality as well. Don't just have 10 different ad videos with just 3 seconds different from each other. Have 10 unique ad creatives, ad videos, and test them out. And out of those 10, maybe you'll have 2 or 3 that do really well, and that is what we are looking for. Now, why this works is because, again, as I mentioned, Facebook's algorithm is smarter than you and I. When it comes to running ads, the rule of thumb is to not make decisions based on emotion. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what Facebook and the data thinks. And Facebook is smarter than both of us in figuring out that data, right? So we want to give Facebook all the authority and the power to actually go out there and find what works the best for our product. So if you give it enough options, it'll push the best performing creative to the right people on autopilot. That also makes it easier for you to scale consistently because you're not going in there tweaking everything every 2 days, right? So that is the first step. Now, if you just stop there, this is where most beginners lose thousands of dollars. What I see most people do is they'll hold on to the bag, hoping that some ad creatives will magically turn profitable, and that will not happen. You need to know exactly when to cut your losses and when to kill ad creatives that are not performing well. And this is how I want you to do it. This is my checklist. You can literally copy and paste this, have it in your notes, and go and abide by this when you're scaling your ads. If your click-through rate is below 2%, you want to cut the creative, not run it. If your cost per click is higher than $1.50, cut it. If your ROAS is below break even, you want to stop running the ad. And if after 3 days of running the ad, you have no sales, you want to stop running the ad creative. Now, these to some of you might sound harsh, to some of you it might sound reasonable. Doesn't matter what you think, this is the rule of thumb, and I want you to follow it to the D. Again, keep emotions out the door when you go into running your ads. Now, this is very important because if you don't cut the ad creatives that are not performing well at the right time, it's going to affect your whole campaign. So make sure you abide by these. And if you're enjoying this video so far and you're getting any value, make sure you leave a like. Now, that is us cutting the ad creatives that don't perform well. What do you do about the ad creatives that do really perform well? Let me explain. Once you find the ad creators that are performing really well and are profitable, you want to duplicate them into a fresh campaign. This is very important. Understand this, that you don't want to just duplicate them. You want to duplicate them into a fresh new campaign. The campaign you want to keep broad. You don't want to touch anything. And then slowly you want to start increasing your budget. The rule of thumb that I like to go about is every 2 to 3 days, increase only by 20%. You don't want to just increase by 50% or 100%. That is going to affect the results and the performance of your ad. Only increase your budget by 20% every 2 days, right? That's a good rule of thumb. You don't need to mess it up. It's very simple, very straightforward. And truth be told, this is where a lot of people screw up. They think that scaling is literally doubling the budget. So if I'm making $10 or my ROAS is 3, and so for every dollar I put in, I get $3. If I put in $10, I'm going to get $30. That is not how it works, right? You need to give Facebook time to adjust to the new budget and then have consistent results come in. That is how you get consistent performance. If you just double your budget overnight, that's going to kill your ad set, right? So you only want to increase your budget every 2 days by just 20%. Keep it slow, keep it steady. You want to be consistent on the long term, not just have a 1 or 2 good days. So that is how you scale consistently. But at the same time, you need to understand why eventually you'll see sometimes some creators will eventually die, right? And there's a way to stop it, and which is what I'm going to talk about next. This is what I call the creative fuel system. Let me explain. The truth of the matter is that no ad creative will last forever, right? Every ad creative has a lifetime and it will expire after a certain point, which means it hits ad fatigue, and you can do things to fix it, but after a certain point, an ad creative will not perform as it used to, which means it's not getting you the same performance and you need to cut your losses. So rather than fighting that, it is smarter to have a system where you have new consistent winning ad creatives come into play every week. That way you can scale much profitably, more consistently, and you'll also won't be losing a lot of money. How you do this is by having a system, having a pipeline of fresh new ad creatives pumped out every single week. And this is how I want you to do it. In our stores and the store that I showed you, we test about 10 new creatives every single week. This is consistent every single week. Doesn't matter what happens, what doesn't. And some of these will be variations or taken inspiration from the winning ad creatives. Some of these will be completely brand new testing angles. And we have enough variation where we can split test, but at the same time, we're also testing what works so that we're not playing a game of guesswork, right? So every week, you want 10 new creatives to be pumped out into a campaign to be tested, right? And then again, like I mentioned at the start of the video, the ones that perform well, you want to keep running, duplicate into a new campaign. The ones that don't perform well, cut the losses, turn them off. But this is very important because, as I said, most of the ad creatives will fail. That is how things work, but some of them will be really profitable. So the more ad creatives you test, the more winning ad creatives you will get, which means the more consistently you can scale, and the more you can scale, the more money you can make. If you just find 3 ad creatives that are performing well and you stop there, you don't test new creatives every week, eventually those 3 creatives will die as well, and then you're back to square one. Your sales will plummet and you're losing a winning product. You're going to lose out on money and you're going to go out of business. So it's very important that you have a consistent flow of campaigns being pushed out every single week to be tested. And this is how you really scale. If you don't do this, if you don't have a system in place, you're basically playing guesswork and you're hoping to the gods of Facebook ads that please make my ad work. And trust me, hope is not going to get you any sales. You need a system in place to have replicatable results. Now, because I'm talking about scaling, I also want to go off on a side tangent and I'm going to talk about your offer, because the ad is just one part of it. The ad's purpose is only to get people to click and go to your store. The conversion part has a lot to do with your offer, right? And this is what I want to cover real quick, because if your conversion rate is low because your offer is shit, doesn't matter how amazing your ads are, you're not going to get sales. So if your conversion rate is anything under 3.5%, it's not just your ads that are the problem, but most importantly, I think it's majority that your store and your offer is the problem. So if that is you, I want you to listen very carefully, because I'm going to tell you certain things that you should implement that will help you increase your conversion rate. So first things first, I want you to start implementing bundles. This is very simple, very straightforward. You can have a bundle that says buy two, get one free. Could be very simple, doesn't need to be overcomplicated, but add bundles. The next thing I want you to test, and if this applies to you, is subscriptions. If you have a product that people would want to buy every 4 or 5 weeks, offer a subscription for a lower cost. This means you retain customers for longer and your profit margins will be higher. Again, this is variable to the product. If it applies to your product, amazing. The next thing I want you to implement in your store is offer risk-free guarantees, such as a 30-day free return guarantee, no questions asked. This is very important because this builds trust. Once people trust you, they buy from you. And the last thing I want you to test to increase your conversion rate and get more sales overall is value-added bonuses. This could be a free small product, free shipping, whatever it is. Give something for free that adds value to the customer, and this will be the nudge that they need to convert into a customer and buy that product. It's not just about your ad, it's about having a whole system in place. If you're someone who has a conversion rate of less than 3.5%, I want you to implement these. Now, there's a lot more things that go into conversion rate optimization. If you are struggling with it, you don't have a good conversion rate, book a free call with me. I'll be more than happy to have a look at your store and help you out. The next thing I want to talk about is tracking your metrics. This is huge, because if you're relying on just Facebook's tracking, your scaling is going to be blind. You don't know the actual attributions that your ads are giving you. The data that Facebook gives you is not accurate because of obvious reasons and the changes that has happened recently. So I want you to understand that on average, Facebook will miss about 30% of your sales, right? The attribution and the tracking is not accurate. So take that into consideration. That means you might be killing your ads that are actually profitable or scaling the ones that are losing you money. And this is why you need to use a third-party tracker like Hyros or anyone else that, whatever fits your budget. Just make sure you have a third-party tracker that actually gets you accurate tracking data, so you can know exactly what ads are performing well and what ads are not. And that is very important, because you're not playing guesswork anymore. Again, the crux of the matter is that don't play guesswork, always go off of real data. No fake ROAS, no fake numbers. Make sure your tracking is done on point. The next thing I want to talk about is aggressive scaling. Now, this is going to be the fun part. This is where we're pushing budgets. This is where we're actually going ham with the scaling. Let me give you some advice on this. If your asset is consistently profitable with high budgets, increase it 20% every 2 days. And then eventually you want to go a little aggressive, which means you also want to scale horizontally and scale vertically. You want to increase your audience size, which means test new creatives, have new creatives coming in, and also bump your ad budget every 2 days. So once you see your ads consistently perform well day after day for a couple of weeks, then go ham with it. So ladies and gentlemen, that is how you scale your ads consistently and profitably to multiply figures. That's how we've done it. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you book a free call with me. If you want help with anything that you're struggling with, it's completely free. I'll see you in the next one.